Pop quiz. If you've seen the classic 1980s action blockbuster Die Hard, then perhaps you remember the villain character played by legendary actor Alan Rickman. If you recall that the villain character was named Hans Gruber, you're only partially correct. It turns out that this film was dubbed into German as Stirb Langsam, literally die slowly, but the title of the film isn't the only thing that was changed. The character of Hans Gruber was renamed to Jack Gruber, and his backstory was changed from being a German terrorist to being an English terrorist. In fact, most of the terrorists in the original film were German, with the exception of Theo and a couple of the others. In the German version, Karl has been renamed to Charlie because he is also supposed to be an Englishman. But why was this changed? I was unable to find an official explanation for this change, but the general consensus from people on various discussion forums is that these characters were intended to be, quote, foreign, unquote, in the original version of the film. They could have been German, they could have been Russian, they could have been Argentinian, it wouldn't really matter. The point, though, is that they're foreign. They speak with accents, occasionally they speak in a foreign language. It's part of the story that this particular group of terrorists, by and large, isn't from around here. This is a problem when dubbing the movie into German because a group of German terrorists no longer seem foreign. They'd no longer speak with an accent, and any scene that has them speaking a foreign language would have to show them speaking in German if the characters themselves were supposed to be German. So the backstory of the group is changed from German to English. But why English? Again, probably an arbitrary choice. Karl and his brother certainly don't look English, but whatever, the important thing is that these characters can be portrayed in the German version as foreign, i.e. not German. It's still a little weird to watch the final scene and hear John McClane yell Jack in the final scene instead of Hans. But I guess it's only a problem if you've seen both versions of the film. Another notable change in the German version is the classic line, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." This line is a reference to the old cowboy western movies that John McClane grew up with, mixed with modern, at the time, 1980s vulgarity. In the German version, this line was changed to "Yippee-ya-yay, Schweinebacke." Schweinebacke literally means pork cheek, and yes, they actually eat pork cheeks in Germany. It's very fatty from what I've heard. Schweinebacke can be used as an insult, but it's a very mild and even kind of a friendly insult, the kind you might use among friends in a jokey way, even in the presence of children. This is far removed from the vulgar swear word in the original version. There are German equivalents to the original line, but in the interest of keeping this channel family friendly, we'll skip the lesson on swear words. Fun side note, when Ellis goes into the office to try to negotiate with Gruber, there's a moment in the scene where the terrorists pour him a glass of Coke. Now, this has never been officially confirmed as far as I know, but my favorite fan theory here is that the reason they're pouring him a Coke is that when he first sat down, they asked him if they could get him anything, and he asked for some Coke, because it was the 1980s and everyone was on cocaine at the time. This is set up earlier in the movie when John McClane walks in on Ellis doing cocaine in Holly's office. But since the terrorists are foreign and English isn't their first language, they misunderstand his request and thought that he was asking for Coke as in Coca-Cola. I don't know if that story is true or not, but it's a pretty funny linguistic misunderstanding if so. That's all for today. We will see you next time on Learn German from TV, and remember, yippee-ki-yay, mother...